Have you ever had 10 good things happen in one day, but your mind kept holding on to the one thing that went wrong? One bad comment, one small mistake, one thing you still do not have. Sometimes our mind is very good at counting troubles, but very slow at counting blessings. So today, let's gently ask, what are you forgetting to be grateful for? Welcome back to Heal and Grow podcast. I'm Wendy, and this episode is a soft reminder to count your blessings, not your troubles. Why does our mind do this? In psychology, there is a concept called loss aversion. In everyday life, this means our brain often pays more attention to what went wrong than to what went well. We react faster to what hurts us than to what helps us. Think of your mind like a social media algorithm. Think about social media for a moment. Very often, the posts that catch our attention are the loud, dramatic, or emotional ones. Your feed often pushes the things that make you react quickly to the top. Your mind can do the same thing. It keeps showing you the same painful moment again and again. One mistake, one bad comment, or one awkward moment. These memories stay at the top of your mind, so they feel bigger than they really are. Meanwhile, the good things are still there, but they are quiet. A kind message from a friend, a warm meal, a safe place to sleep, a small chance to try again. They are all there, but they do not shout for your attention. So please remember this. The problem is not that your life has no good things. The problem is that your mind may be replaying the painful things too often. That is why we need to practice. We need to gently train our attention to look past the loud, negative things and notice the quiet, beautiful things that are still helping us grow every day. Have you ever heard of the scarcity mindset? It means your mind only focuses on what is missing. Even when you already have many good things, this mindset makes you feel like it is still not enough. You may have a good job, but you only worry because you are not a manager yet. You may be healthy, but you only wish to look like someone else. You may be growing every day, but you only see that other people are doing better than you. But think about this. The life you have today might be the dream of your younger self. Maybe you once wished for the things you now call normal, but because they are already part of your life, you forget to be thankful. The scarcity mindset tells you can relax only when you are more successful. You can love yourself only when you look better. But the truth is, if we do not appreciate what we already have, we may always feel empty, no matter how much more we get. One of the biggest lessons I learned about gratitude is that gratitude does not take away your dreams. It simply helps you hold your dreams with a softer heart. Gratitude does not mean you stop wanting a better life, a better job, or more money. It does not mean you say, "This is enough, so I should never grow." No. Gratitude means you can keep growing without hating where you are right now. You do not have to look at your life and think, "My life has no value because I am not there yet." You can begin from a gentler place. You can remind yourself, "I have already come this far. I already have some good things in my life. I'm not starting from zero." I like to think of gratitude like a young tree. Maybe it is not the tallest tree in the garden yet. Maybe it does not have many flowers. Maybe it does not receive the most sunlight. But it still has soil. It still has water. It still has roots. And because it has roots, it can keep growing. And maybe you are just like that tree. Maybe you are not where you want to be yet, but that does not mean you have nothing. Look at your roots. Maybe you still have your health. Maybe you still have time. Maybe you still have the ability to learn. Maybe you still have people who care about you. These things are not small. They are your foundation. And when you can see your foundation, something inside you becomes calmer. You stop moving from fear. You stop chasing life from panic. You begin to move forward with more peace, more trust, and more kindness toward yourself. Gratitude reminds you, I can want more and still be thankful for what I already have. Peace is not only in the future, peace can begin right here, right now. People often say that the past shapes who we are, but I believe something else is also true. What shapes you is not only what happened to you, it is also the conversation you have with yourself about what happened. Think of the past like raw material. The same pain can become two different things. One person may use it to build a wall and stay inside regret. Another person may use it like a brick on the road, so they can walk forward with stronger steps. My friend, we cannot go back and rewrite the old pages of our life, but we are still holding the pen for the next chapter. So please, do not let one rejection become a final judgment about your value. Maybe that door closed because it was not truly meant for you. Maybe it closed so you could find another way, a way that fits your heart better. Do not let one mistake define you as a failure. A mistake is not the whole picture. It is only one rough line in a bigger painting that is still being made. And when you go through a storm, you do not have to force yourself to call the storm beautiful. Pain is still pain. Tears are still tears. Healing does not mean you pretend the wound was never there. Healing means you can look at your scar and say, I went through something hard, but I am still here. You are not what other people failed to see in you. You are your quiet effort. You are the way you hold yourself when you feel weak. You are the strength that helps you begin again, even after a difficult day. So instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Maybe tonight before you sleep, you can gently ask yourself, is there a kinder story I can tell myself about this? You do not need a miracle to make everything perfect. You only need one honest and gentle sentence. Yes, I was hurt, but I am healing. I am not there yet, but I have already come a long way. And today, I did my best. Sometimes, when you change the story you tell yourself, you slowly change the life you are living. Sometimes what changes our life is not a big event. Sometimes it is the way we name ordinary things. The words we use inside our mind are very important. For example, you may say, I have to work. And when you say that, work may feel like a heavy burden. It may feel like you are being dragged through a long day. But what if you try saying, I get to work? This does not mean work is always easy, but it helps your heart remember something important. Somewhere out there, many people are hoping for a stable job, a source of income, a chance to take care of themselves and the people they love. The work is still there. The responsibility is still there. But the feeling inside you becomes a little softer. Or maybe you make a mistake. You may say, I made a mistake again. I am so bad at this. And when you say that, the mistake becomes a judgment. It becomes proof that you are not good enough. But what if you try saying, I just learned one way not to do it next time? Now, the mistake is not a life sentence. It becomes a lesson. It becomes information. It becomes a sign that you are learning. Or maybe you wake up early. You may say, I have to wake up early again, and the day begins with tiredness. But what if you say, I still have a new day to begin again? The morning becomes a chance to fix one small thing, a chance to learn something new, a chance to be kinder, a chance to live a little more gently with yourself. These small sentences do not remove all problems. Work is still work. Responsibility is still responsibility. Life still has hard days, but they change your inner energy. They remind you that life is not only a burden. Life also has chances, lessons, love, health, time, and many quiet blessings that support you every day. Maybe we are not missing blessings as much as we think. Maybe we have simply forgotten how to see them. So today, before you complain about everything that is not perfect, try to name your life in a gentler way. Instead of, I have to do this, try, I have a chance to do this. Instead of, I am behind, try, I am still growing. Instead of, my life is not enough, try, my life is still becoming. And maybe, when the way you name your life changes, the way you feel your life will change too. Not because everything becomes easy, but because inside you stop fighting your life so much. When you start naming your life in a gentler way, something inside you begins to change. The problem outside might still be there, but inside you, a little space begins to open. In that space, you can breathe, slow down, and see things more clearly. A fearful mind sees only problems, but a calmer mind begins to see choices. Gratitude is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about reminding your mind that you are not completely stuck. What you focus on becomes louder inside you. If you only look at what is missing, life can feel empty. But when you gently notice what is still okay, your mind receives a message of hope. There is still something I can do. There is still one small step I can take. Pain, rejection, and mistakes are real. You do not have to pretend they do not hurt. But they are not the end of your story. You still have your skills, your lessons, and your ability to try again, to move forward. You do not need a perfect life or a perfect plan right away. Sometimes you only need a calmer heart, a hand on your chest, a quiet breath, and one small next step. Now, my friend, before we end, I want to leave you with one very small practice. You can do this at night, in the morning, or anytime your mind feels heavy. Ask yourself one simple question. Right now, what is still okay? Not what is perfect, not what is amazing, just what is still okay. Maybe your answer is, I still have a place to sleep. I still have food today. I still have one person I can talk to. I still have time to try again. I still have a heart that wants to heal. At first, this question may feel too simple, but sometimes simple questions bring us back to life. When your mind says, everything is wrong, this question gently says, look again, not everything. When your fear says, you are stuck, this question gently says, look again, there is still one step. Gratitude does not erase the problem. It gives you strength to face it differently. It helps you move from panic to presence, from fear to clarity, from fighting yourself to supporting yourself. And maybe that is enough for today. You do not need to fix your whole life in one night. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to notice one small blessing. Take one quiet breath and choose one gentle next step. Your life may not be perfect, but it is not empty. You may have troubles, but you also have blessings. You may feel tired, but you are still here. And that means your story is still continuing. So please be gentle with your mind. Do not let one bad day become the whole story of your life. Do not let one mistake become your identity. And do not let one missing thing make you forget all the quiet things that are still supporting you. Tonight, or whenever you have a peaceful moment, try to count 3 small blessings. A warm drink, a kind message, a quiet room, a lesson learned, a body still breathing, a heart still trying. And when you count them, say softly to yourself, I have more than I thought. I am not starting from zero, and I can keep going. Thank you for spending this gentle time with me today. I'm Wendy, and this is Heal and Grow Podcast. If this episode gave your heart a little peace, you can watch more gentle episodes in the playlist at the end of this video. Maybe the next one is exactly what your heart needs today. Take care of your heart. Be kind to your mind. And keep growing gently, one small thought at a time.